Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's conversation. Today, we're going to have Rafael Valdez, and he's going to be sharing with us his healing journey. I remember when I used to call you the golden boy, and I still do. That's the way that I see you in my mind. And I think, like that golden child, like the crystal child, and all of that stuff. But it's always like the golden boy. Must be, must be something there for me to still find out. So I want to have you take the time to introduce yourself real quickly. Rafael, the 1 year Awakening the Healer program back in 2022, and you finished in 2023, I think.
2023. Yes.
Sometime in 2023, right?
Probably towards the end of the year of 2023.
No, I don't think it was that
Maybe
recent.
July or probably
Something
June or
like that.
July. Yeah, August, I believe so.
Yeah, so it's been a year since you finished.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
summertime, I remember.
okay.
hmm
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where are your parents from? Anything that you want to share with us.
Well, I'm Rafael Valdez. I'm 33 years old. I was born here in U.S., but my parents moved. They're from Ecuador, so they moved to Ecuador when I was little. So I pretty much raised in Ecuador, and then I came back when I was 18, and it's been like 16 years since. And then yeah, but I mean, I started growing here pretty much by myself. I was always used to like spend time with family, and because I grew up with my cousins and everybody. So when I came here, I was pretty much alone because I was with other family, but they weren't too close as I was before. So it was like
Mm,
since then, something clicked on me, like, and then got me looking for answers, and why I was here by myself, and why I needed to start doing, and I needed a guidance, and I guess that's when my journey started at the age of 18 here. And then well, I was probably 31 when I found Victoria. I was reading a book about the hypnosis, because
okay.
I knew there was something, that I was missing something. Like I was looking for something, for some answers. And then that's when my journey started. And then I started reading a lot of books about spirituality and all this kind of stuff. And then I was reading this book about hypnosis. What was the name of that book? I think I have it. Oh, The Three Waves of Volunteers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was like I went crazy when I read that book. So and then
Ah,
yeah, I didn't know I like to read when I bought that book. So I started reading, and since then I've been like I love to read now.
so that's the book that got you to read. That's
Yeah, pretty much.
interesting.
Yeah, pretty
Hmm.
much. Then I found another book like which was about the universe, and other constellations and all these topics. They I
Was
love
it
them.
from Dolores Cannon or somebody else?
Somebody else. I got a bunch of books now that,
Okay.
different. Now I'm more into like thematics, like the sounds, like the healing, the
Hmm.
sounds. I'm more into that now. Like,
Yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about because I'm fascinated by sound as well. And
yeah,
I think we had a conversation about that like a couple of
yeah.
years ago.
We
Yeah.
spend many hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you decided to do the program, can you give us a recap? So you said that you were feeling a little bit alone, lonely back in your what early 20s?
Yeah, probably started like since 18 to like probably 28. I was
Oh wow.
like I always wanted to go back with my family in Ecuador,
Yeah.
but something was like telling me that we're feeling that there's like something else, and but you don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's what actually. And then yeah, I started like I met a taita from Colombia, and
Mm-hmm.
I flew to Colombia in 2016 for a ceremony. And there it was like still, probably my unconscious mind wasn't like ready for it. So it
Yeah.
was like I felt like I didn't do anything in that trip, but actually that's where everything started.
What do you mean you didn't do anything? Like you didn't see any crazy
Yeah,
colors
I was
and
like,
things?
I mean, nothing happened. I was, I was expecting for a change.
Gotcha.
But and then, as the time went by with your program and everything, um, what I learned is like you can only get tools outside of you, but everything else is inside. Like the real power, the real answer that I was looking for, it's really
Yeah.
within.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and I
beautiful
felt
that you
like,
say that.
yeah, like I felt like my trip over there was beautiful because like all the tools I remember now, it's like, oh, that was why I was there. And then when I found your program, I was like, whoa, that was like deep work. I got all the
It,
tools.
mhm.
And, uh,
So, yeah, tell us a little bit more about that because I think a lot of people I think a lot of people would really like to know, like, okay, what do you mean that the tools are inside? Like, I want them to hear from somebody else besides me.
yeah, like you just want like somebody else to tell you, yeah, that's like you're doing it right. Like, you know, that guidance that tells you, yeah, here are the tools, keep going. You're doing it fine. Because sometimes it's not like we want to do something, but we don't get the results that we want. And
Yeah.
that's when you learn, like, you probably have to go back in and see everything again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I know that you were looking into quantum healing. I know that you were feeling some of these things like what is there. But yeah, I'm not it's been a long time, so I don't remember exactly. But what made you decide to, because I think for most of my clients, there has to be a pain that they have that is like, okay, I need to do something about this. Was it that you were feeling lonely or that you were feeling like,
Yeah,
what is
back
the
then it
point of
was it
this?
was it wasn't like lonely anymore, but it was like more like, there was something that I couldn't, something was stopping me from getting to my true potential.
Okay.
And it was like,
Okay.
it was like past lives that were probably things I didn't fix. And then that's what you helped me with, work on those things. You gave me the tools to go back there and find the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do remember working a lot on going forward with specific challenges or opportunities that maybe were going to be put to the side if you didn't take advantage of them. But I wasn't sure if there was something else that it was like, oh no, this is why I need to do this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you start doing something, like you start like a project and you start it but you don't finish it, and then when you have like so many projects, you're like, well, I have to go back and finish what I started first. And when you go
Mm-hmm.
back and finish that, and then you feel like, oh wow, now there's a difference. And that's what I
Yeah,
probably, it was the biggest thing about this program, that there was a few things I didn't finish before in
that
order
were
to move
bothering
forward.
you. Like you
Yeah,
knew something had to be done because otherwise it was continue to repeat. So it was a
it's
pattern.
a pattern. Yeah. So yeah, it was like, it was like probably a year, like 8+ sessions, like 12 sessions. So each one of them was a lot of work for me, which I was expecting like you were gonna just come and then, yeah, everything's fixed. Uh but I like that, that it's us doing the you're
It's you.
doing a big part
Yeah.
of it, but like we also have to,
Yeah, it's you at the end of the day, right?
yeah,
Like,
it's us, yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I'm
Well,
saying. Like I love the tools that your program offers, but it's like we still got to do the work because if we go there and try expect like for you to do everything for us, it's like, what do we learn from this?
Right.
And that
Yeah, no,
and that's what I like,
yeah.
that I had to each session was deep. And
I do remember one thing that I even took a picture, remember? When one of the sessions your eyes were so red. It was like,
yeah,
I don't remember what you worked on. If that was a, I think you had a past life in, what was it, Hawaii?
it was
Like
somewhere in
ancient
yeah,
Hawaii.
in
Like,
one of those like mountains with caves. And
yeah.
yeah, it was yeah, somewhere there, but it wasn't Hawaii though. It's where Hawaii is now, but it was
Yeah,
somewhere,
that's what I mean.
something there before. Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually thought that that was actually a very important session, even though it was towards the end of your program. Do you remember why?
Mm, it was probably in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, probably the fourth or the fifth session.
But do you remember why that session was so important? What was the
Uh,
meaning of it?
I remember that it taught me that that I was like kind of like a master in I could master like sound, and I
Sound.
could move objects like rocks and stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was like it showed me that I have that the power to still do things like that, like not move rocks, but with like visualization and deep work, I could
Yeah.
manifest. And that was like one of the things I remember. I was like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. It was me blocking, and that showed me that it was the blockage came from me, so I had to like you know overcome it. And yeah.
Yeah, and we can delete this part
And I
if we don't
remember
want it.
you were expecting me to like be like, that's it, like that's, I think that's what you named me, the golden boy, because you thought I had like bigger issues. And it was all
No.
like blockages and like my own mind playing games.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I actually saw you as pure gold around, which is why I started calling you the golden boy.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
do
Back then I
remember
was
saying
like,
that sometimes.
back then I was in that life was yeah, I remember it was beautiful.
Yeah. There was something that happened at the end of that live. Do you remember what it was?
I think it was drowning.
Mm,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, I think it was drowning, water everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember. I couldn't escape it. I had the power, but I was like, I think I had to take it, or it came
Yeah.
by surprise. Something happened that I
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Yeah. So, and I thought that that was interesting because that was also part of the thing that you were working on, like um, perhaps because I do remember that sometimes what you came up to work in the sessions was related to being stuck, to feeling like you cannot move forward, and you actually take one step forward and two back. And I thought that that was fascinating because in that past life, you were stuck. Like you were,
Yeah,
even though you had the resources to do something and move from it, you didn't
hmm
want to leave everything behind that you have built.
exactly. Yeah, something like that.
It's been a year. So what happens after with these challenges that you had? Did you see an improvement?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was like I went back to unlock, like those games where you go and start unlocking, more and more and more. Yeah, I felt like all the work that I did, it was like unlocking something inside. It was like, things in my way that were on it. So it was like it was getting clearer and clearer after that.
Mm,
Yeah, and I can say that, yeah, that was very, very helpful. It's like I went out of the loop, like feeling. It's like plus all the work that I do now, like all the
mm-hmm.
work that I do for me. Yeah, I feel more calmer and like, yeah, I can say I have peace of mind, you know. We get like problems every day in our lives, like business and
Yeah,
like even in the, you know, when you go out and there's traffic and like, but other than that, like, you know, I can say that I I have a, you know, peace of mind and everything's calmer. I when something comes up, like I don't go crazy like I used to. Oh my God, it keeps happening to me. It's like the attitude that I put into it now that you know,
yeah,
uh,
completely different.
yeah,
It sounds
like well came up for some reason, so I gotta, you know, do
address
my
them.
best to yeah overcome it and
Yeah. In one of those programs that you found in one of your sessions was before coming into your mother's belly. Do you remember that session?
hmm yeah came through like a tube something from it was great. It sounds crazy. Like it's still crazy. Like I felt like I saw it. Like I was coming from a tube. Like you know, and I felt like I was tied in there.
Squished.
Like I felt it. Yeah, I felt it. It's crazy though. But you know, the unconscious mind. It's like it records everything.
Yeah.
So it's there for you to go back and see for yourself that it's actually true. Yeah, and when I was
Yeah.
like, well, it's me going there, and then I felt, you know, it was crazy. Like, you know, everybody
To
experiences
experience that.
different
Hmm.
types of yeah experiences, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not crazy now. If you know, when sharing these stories, it's like
Yeah.
now I have like sometimes I get these crazy dreams. Like they're so vivid that I'm like, oh, was I really in there? Like, you know, and then I
Hmm.
wake up and I'm like, I forget how big. Oh my God, that dream was nice, and I don't remember. But yeah, yeah, I believe them. It's crazy how the mind works, and
One of the sessions that you did that I really liked, like the warrior energy that was coming through.
yeah, I think it was a few of them. It was like some kind of lion, uh, line, some kind of a line, energy. Like I was shaped, I kind of like, yeah, shaped, lion shape, like with human parts, and I was like half and half.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Liran.
it was similar to this planet, but it was somewhere else. It wasn't here. Probably
Hmm.
another dimension.
Yeah, I mean, we were working through the things. We were not in there to investigate. We were going in there to get healing done. But
Mhm.
from an investigation point of view, I can definitely see that being, somewhere in the Lyra constellation or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, the first session, I think that was came up in the first session. The first
Yeah,
session, I got like 6 past lives in the first one, and this was
yeah,
one of them. Yeah, I remember that. I think I somewhere over there in Lyra.
yeah. Most people do 1, 2, 3 sessions, like past lives, in one,
Yeah,
healing session. But you, you went through like 5 or 6
yeah.
in
The
one,
first
and
the
yeah,
first time I was crazy. I remember. I remember
yeah,
that one. Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Anything else that you want to share with those listening?
I mean, like go for it and be open to like, you know, work with Victoria. I think she's a really cool and you know, teacher or like however you want to call it. She'll give you the tools that you need, definitely. But I'll suggest that actually you be able to put in the work and then, you know, be open. Don't think you're crazy sometimes for the things that you know you think at the moment. It's just normal. I guess your mind tries to, you know, interfere with this. But you know, just be open and don't be afraid to like share what's going through your mind at the moment. Because that's also
Yeah.
gonna help. There might be
Um,
something there
mhm.
that you know unlocks
Right.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess what I was thinking, like, for especially for, I mostly work with women, but for men that are your age, that are, I don't know what you were thinking before you decided to do something like this, but they're so many healers out there and so many opportunities to heal, right? So someone that is in the same situation that you were before you started that specific intensive healing program, what will you say to someone that is like, put yourself in back in those shoes and imagine that there are 20 people or a million people that are in those situations and that they are male in the late 20s and or early 30s, and they're thinking like, what is going on with my life? Like, what do I do? What will you say to them?
I felt like I was older, way older than people my age. And not everybody it's that way, but there's still people that feel there's something, beyond that. You feel it. That's what I think it got to me. Like, I had to go through this, see what's happening. I had to see for myself, what this is about. And yeah, I mean, you might find things that you were looking for, or something that's definitely going to help you, and you'll see the changes as you continue to do the work.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll
that.
say, go for it. If you feel that you need a guidance, this is
Mhm.
definitely what it's gonna be a big change. It's gonna definitely help.
Yeah, so you mentioned something very important that I think a lot of people experience. And I'm wondering if you ever experienced this, where you finish a session and then maybe, especially at the beginning, you don't see enough progress really fast. And then people are like, oh, I don't think I can do this, or I don't think this is gonna work. Did you ever experience that?
Yeah, believe it or not, and I don't say everybody feels the same, but there's a point to everything in life that you feel like, what am I doing this for? It's not working. But I learned that, being consistent and doing something, not because, you just want to start it and not finish it. But I learned, and this problem was the big challenge, the biggest challenge at the time, because everything I started, it's like I left it halfway. And
Mm,
I got to the point to this program out, and I was like, whatever it takes, this is gonna be the first thing that I'm gonna finish. And everything helped because you know there was something saying, finish it. And then, because it was like a big deal, a year, it's like going to school. Everybody wants to like not go to school, but
yeah,
you learn things. And yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and I finished the program. I was glad that it was one of the biggest challenges for me, because I struggle so much with finishing projects. Like, you have no idea. And now, since the program, I'm like on it. Like, if I'm gonna do something, I do it, and I stick to it and I finish it. But if I know I'm not gonna do it, I'm like, fine. Not for me. But if I decide to take on a challenge, I'm all for it now.
yeah, that's beautiful. I'm not sure if you want to share anything about your businesses that
Well,
if
like every business, it takes, it's not like you're gonna sell millions overnight. I mean, uh, sometimes might be the case, but you still gotta put in the work. Like, you still gotta be consistent. And especially with a business, it's an everyday thing. Um,
yeah.
you know, and the biggest challenge is like looking for time with, like, if you have family, like, you definitely have to like work it out, because you definitely need to spend time with family. That's what I think for me, it's like the biggest thing is to leave
Hmm.
time for my family and spend time with them, and share things, and lead us, and as with example, they see you're putting in the work, and then you show them. You don't just tell them, but you show them. And you know they if they want, like, they'll get the message. If not, then, but at
Yeah,
least you do your part. But
yeah,
definitely, it's finding for time to spend with family, and then be committed to what you do, and put in the work and get consistency. And
it's
pretty sure
beautiful.
that yeah, it's gonna work.
Yeah, I really like that. That balance is
Yeah.
important, and I know that
Yeah.
you really prioritize your health as well. So It's pretty
Yeah,
good
that's
balance.
also that's the biggest challenge. Like, when you're busy, a busy life, like, and get balance with like diet and exercise, it can be, but if you're like organized and then consistent, a day, if you miss a day, like, if you don't eat right one day, it's not going to kill you. But I think that's where the balance is, like, to be
Right.
consistent, and that consistency, that balance, it's very important.
Good. So I think we're going to end with that then, unless there is
Okay.
anything else you want to share.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Thank
mean,
you so much.
everything, go for it and put in the work.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rafael. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.